So this will be the most boring YouTube video ever. So I don't even know if people are watching it. Don't know if it tells me that. I don't know if it doesn't tell me that. I don't know if I get to see chat, any of that kind of stuff. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna broadcast for a while here on my little road trip for work, and we'll see what happens. And hopefully I get to talk to some of you guys. But who knows? I kind of have a feeling that I don't get to see chat doing this. So this may be a futile attempt on my part, but gotta give it a shot, right? Your network connection is weak. Video quality may be affected. Oh yeah, it is. Wow. I've got 1 bar of 4G right now. I guess that's what happens when you go through the middle of frickin' nowhere, huh? Anyway. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I just figured I'd go out and do a little bit of a live cruise here. And since I've got a couple hours of driving left for work, got like no radio or nothing out in this area, and my cell phone says that, hey, you can do live YouTube chats direct from your cell phone, just built into the camera. So I figured I'd give it a shot, see what happens, and see what you guys think about it. Again, I said I don't know if I get to see chat, so hopefully I do. It shows me thumbs up, thumbs down, so obviously I get to see if people like the video or not. But as for the chat itself, I don't think I get it. So be good. Yeah, I know, a lot of good that does me. Anyway. So a lot of you guys have probably already heard what I do for work. And what it boils down to is I'm a delivery driver. I work for a company out in my local area. It's actually called Delivery Fix. We do a lot of different things. But I don't work out of the standard office like most people do. I work for one of our contracted companies. The contract that I have, that I work for, is 6-day-a-week delivery. I've got one at noon, one at 3 o'clock, and to these assisted living facilities and rehab facilities, even a couple of county jails and the like. So basically, I don't do a heck of a lot but spend my time on the road. And one of the things I've noticed is, you get out in the country like where we are here, and people, for the most part, seem to be able to drive. They seem to care about driving and actually, want to pay attention, use their turn signals, etc., etc. When I get back into the city I live in, well, the city I work out of, and you'll probably see this, I'm probably going to stop this video about 15-20 minutes in or so. But when I get back out to the city that I work at, or get closer there, I'll fire the video back up once I get on the highway, and you'll see that everybody's following the rules, per se. Kind of just goes out the window. They don't like to use turn signals pretty much at all, and that seems to be most of this state, however. They don't like to stay in their own lane. They don't like to signal lane changes. Everybody drives 5, 10, 15 miles an hour, even over the speed limit. And it's just horrendous. I mean, it's unbelievable the kind of stuff that we see and deal with on a regular basis out here. I hear of more crashes and car accidents out here than I ever did back in my hometown, my home state. And it boggles the mind. Actually, if you guys see any of those, most places have them, I'm sure. I don't know if everybody does, but on the side of the road, they get all those light up dot matrix signs that, tell you to drive slow or drive safe, or, traffic ahead 15 miles, etc., etc. The ones they like to use out here are buckle up for safety, don't drink and drive, and then they tell you how many traffic-related deaths have been so far during the year. And what I always find is funny is for the first maybe month and a half of the year, you'll get, 1, 2, 3, somewhere, in singular low double-digit range. Which, I guess isn't so bad considering we do have, as you can see, winter up here for 6 months out of the year, if not more. But when we start to get now, March, April, and later on in the year, we wind up having more than one death per day on the road. Now, I don't know what statistics are like for the rest of the country, because I don't think I've seen anywhere else that I've driven, I don't think I've seen somebody do statistics quite like that, where they just blatantly throw it in your face, pay attention because here's how many people have already died on the road this year. And it is kind of sad to know that, we get more than one death per day over the course of the year when it breaks down to it. I mean, it was probably September or October of last year, and we were at like 500 some deaths. And I'm just thinking, after driving as much as I do around this state, I can totally understand why. The amount of alcohol-related incidents seems to be extremely high from what I'm used to seeing, and it climbs. I'm sure it's climbing everywhere because people are being stupid, and you can do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to anybody, and the law doesn't matter, and all that kind of crap. But it just seems in this state that people don't care about the rules of the road. Take, for example, I was driving home from the office the other night. I had my wife in the car beside me, and we're heading down the highway, basically. It's a two-lane highway like this, but it's a highway nonetheless. We're heading down the highway, and there's this nice, long, slow left turn that goes down towards our house. And this is still up in the big city by the office. We're maybe 15 minutes from the office. Still got a 20-minute drive to my house. And going around, it's somewhat of a corner like this, only it's flat. There's no hill. We're going around the corner, and all of a sudden, coming at us, in my lane, is a car. There's no passing lane. It's a double yellow line. You don't cross it. And they just kept on coming. I wound up having to swerve off onto the ditch. I came to a complete stop. I called the police right away. Yeah, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. But it got me to thinking, and I'm like, why was this person in oncoming lanes? And it's not like, they saw me, realized they were in my lane, and switched back over. I looked in my rearview mirror. They stayed in my lane the entire way around the curve. So they didn't oh shit, I made a mistake, and get back in the other lane. And they obviously weren't asleep at the wheel because they made the corner, but they made the corner in the wrong lane. I don't know how that happens. That's something I have only ever seen once before. And it scared the living shit out of me personally. It's not something I want to deal with again. I hope I never have to. And if I do, I'll do the exact same thing I did last time. I'll memorize as much of the description of the vehicle as I possibly can, try and read the license plate, if the high beams aren't blinding me, and get out of the person's way, hopefully don't injure myself or anybody else that might be riding with me, and, call the police right away. But this, now that I've told that story, it reminds me of the previous incident that I had to deal with for this. I was driving in the old city I lived in, and it's kind of a weird situation, but I'll try to describe it as best as I can. We come down a road, like I'm on now, and it's actually 2 lanes in each direction, so it's a 4-lane road, just a county road, not a highway or anything, 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. And you come up to a roundabout. Now, the roundabout is 1-lane roundabout, from two directions and a 2-lane roundabout from the other two directions. But on the 2-lane roads, it curves off. Instead of actually going into the roundabout to take the exit, you just take an exit. It's a separate yield that you can take to take the right-hand turn off the exit. Well, I come up to this roundabout, I'm getting ready to take my right-hand turn, and here comes somebody the wrong way, driving clockwise around the roundabout. Now, this is a fairly unusual thing. I mean, you're not used to people going the wrong way around a roundabout. So I stopped and, let them, hoping that they'd see my car coming at them and be like, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. No, they continued around the roundabout in the wrong direction. And they exited the roundabout on the wrong side of the road. So they exited the roundabout onto a 2-lane divided road into oncoming traffic. Luckily, there was no traffic at the time, but that's what they did. So I went the correct way around the roundabout and got on the same road parallel to them on the correct side of the road. And looking at the vehicle, they actually had British or UK license plates. It was the long orange-yellow